This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Thursday to everybody. I'm up, I'm going. Don't have my medication, don't care. Coming into the studio today, once again, I want to say my condolences to whoever they were taking to their final resting place, but it really does motivate me. I get another day to make a little difference. And I'm going to take this day and every day, and you people, you good people, get off your lame asses, because these no-count, rotten, no-good-for-nothing son of a bitch and politicians, they're up at the crack of dawn trying to screw us. If I got paid, if I was a prostitute, I'd be worth $10 million, because these politicians have screwed me, screwed you. We're nothing. We're not American citizens in this great country. We're prostitutes. But we're dumb prostitutes, because a prostitute gets screwed and gets paid. We get screwed and paid. The son of a bitches that are screwing us, the politicians. And if nobody likes it, turn off their radio station. Don't give a damn. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make a difference. And if I can make a difference, if I can change one person's attitude to get up and fight these bastards, you know what they do. They beat us down. They beat us down. And we become so apathetic that we say, our vote doesn't make a difference. Our voice doesn't make a difference. That's what they want, people. My voice may not make a difference, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to be because I didn't try to have it make a difference. Let's get off our asses, people, because the day's coming where nobody is going to be safe out on our streets. Nobody's going to have food on their table, and nobody's going to be able to speak free unless we stop it. Let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Hey, Amika, you Stinka Jackson. You skanky, no-count, good-for-nothing bitch, and you heard what I called you, a bitch. Amika, you stinker. And I don't give a damn if you're black or white. Mrs. Kern, she's a white bitch. But for you, and I'm the one, people, I predicted it 2 days ago. And when I tell you something on the radio, don't believe it. Research it, and then you'll believe it. I told you 2 days ago what's going to happen. You're reading the paper. You go to the board meeting tonight in East St. Louis, and you'll say, that Romanik's not the stupidest son of a bitch I ever heard. I'm close, but I'm not the stupidest. This ignorant, stupid bitch. Liar, liar, liar. Well, that woke me up. God, this lady, and I can't say that because then I have to apologize to all the ladies of the world. This lady brought in her friend. Well, let's take care of my community service because I'll get going and I'll forget this. Pancake breakfast fundraiser coming up this Saturday, August the 22nd. Our great friends at Mid-America Horse Rescue going to have a pancake and sausage all-you-can-eat breakfast, $10 per person. That's going to be held at the Grange Hall, Route 163. It's really not Millstadt. It's between Millstadt and Centerville. But if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Heather. It's 618-530-9747. The first ever car cruise coming up August the 29th. Lewis and Clark Confluence Tower. It's $10. No, I'm sorry. It's free. How the hell are these guys making money? I don't know. But it's, hey, I didn't want to talk about that because I can't read it. Bedrock Raceway in Belleville. Free admission. This is a track south of 159 in Belleville. Nobody knows about it. If you've got a go-kart, they've got all kind of go-kart tracks out there. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact the good people at 698-3379. Holy Family Festival. Holy Family Festival. This Friday and Saturday, August the 21st, 22nd, in the beautiful, beautiful village of Cahokia, Illinois. And I've got some great people from Cahokia that's going to be with me momentarily. It's going to be from 6 to 10 p.m. Carnival rides, ticket sales. Going to have bands, so if you can make it out there this Friday and Saturday to Cahokia, please do. The American Legion, Belleville Post, 1937, their meat shoot coming up Sunday, August the 30th. Located at TR's Place, 4901 Concordia Church Road in Belleville. Have any questions or concerns, you can contact their commander, Jim Farbus, at 409-1212. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper Radio. You can get us on our streaming, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or our sister station, KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. or I broadcast from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday, at the stroke of midnight. On this date, August the 20th, 1619, the first slaves were brought by the Dutch to the colony of Jamestown, Virginia. On this date, August the 20th, 1866, President Andrew Johnson formally declared that the Civil War was over. On this date, a great date in history, August the 20th, 1896, the dial telephone was patented. I don't think some of these young kids know what the dial telephone is. On this date, August the 20th, 1930, DeMont conducted their first demonstration of TV broadcasts for home reception in New York City. TV back in 1930, the first TV. On this date, August the 20th, 1958, the New York Giants ball team announced that the club would move to San Francisco the following year. That's what happened on this date, August the 20th, throughout all these years in our world's history. I want to say hi to some great people to St. Louis Rehabilitation Center, especially Lori Butcher. I have a relative at the hospital right now, and all the good people at the St. Louis Rehabilitation Center, they've all done a great job. And Lori Butcher, thank you very much. Her and her son, Waylon Mood, they listen to the station all the time. She listens to my show, and if she's handling one of my family's medical needs and listens to my show, maybe we better reevaluate Lori. But Lori Butcher, her son, Waylon Mood, thank you guys for listening. We sincerely appreciate it. Where am I going to go real quick? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've got Ed Cockrell in here, and I've got some nice people from Cahokia. I don't know how much time I'm going to have, but Ed Cockrell, a proud member of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, also county board member from New Athens and New Athens Township Supervisor. I want to salute you and Frank Hillegenstein, and I know I always pronounce his name wrong, but I talked with you guys a few days ago, and you guys were livid about this situation in St. Clair County about not flying their flag at half-staff. You were livid about the city of Belleville trying to take the American flag off their uniforms. So you and Frank, you guys went up to the courthouse, and you've done something that I want to salute you for. Let me know what it is, Ed.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody out there in Radio Land. Thanks for tuning in. Bob, Frank Hillegenstein and I yesterday took it upon ourselves to sponsor a resolution to amend the county ordinances requiring that all St. Clair County Board established boards and commission shall start each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country.
Well, I salute you guys for that.
Well, we appreciate it, and it's pretty sad when we have to do that, but it should be done. I mean, any public body that I've ever, the St. Clair County Board actually didn't do it till 1993 when I got on there and sponsored a resolution to do the same thing.
Do you think they'll play party politics and vote it down just because it was brought by you?
Oh, I don't know, Bob. It doesn't make any difference, right or wrong, Democrat, Republican.
I agree, but
we're gonna we sponsored it. It must be on the agenda now. So we're gonna see how the Kool-Aid drinking bobbleheads are going to treat it.
Yeah, I can't believe when the United States of America flew the flag at half-staff for those 5 brave military heroes that were killed on our land here in the United States, that both Mark Sweetcakes Kern and Mark Pussyboy Eckert, also known as Maximus Vaginus, those guys did not. And I tell you, I hate you son of a bitches for being bad politicians and playing bad politics, but I despise you rotten bastards when you can't respect our country. I know you don't respect us as taxpayers and voters, but when you can't respect this great country of ours, I think you're no good, rotten pieces of crap. And I'd like to say a lot more, but I don't want to be fined $25,000, $35,000 more. But Ed, in this new ordinance, will it come up for a vote at the next board meeting?
Yes, it
doesn't have to go through committee.
Yeah, it has to go through the Judiciary Committee, which all resolutions do, and that'll be the night of the board meeting on the 31st of August. I think they meet at 6:30 or 6 somewhere in there, so I'll be there. I think Mr. Helligenstein is still a member of that. He's no longer the chair, but we'll be there to make sure that that committee passes it on to the county board for a full vote at the meeting at 7:30 on the 31st of August, the last Monday of the month.
Okay. Ed, we know we've got elections coming up in 2016. We've got petitions being circulated coming the first of the month. I know you're a proud member of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We've got some people in here from Cahokia, proud members of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. I honestly think if the good people of St. Clair County will get off their asses, will get involved, we'll have a great election in 2016 and get rid of these people, this culture of corruption.
Well, Bob, we'll have a choice, and in this country, that's what it's all about. Choice and perception, and but regardless of whatever you do, get out there and get it done. I mean, get behind a candidate, get behind a party, and I say party, a group of people. It can be the Freedom Coalition. There's Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals. Hey, we're all Americans, and people have died over the years and fought for this country to protect that freedom to vote. And what kills me every time is the apathy that's expressed by people who do not go and vote.
Right.
And we need to change that, because you need to make a difference, because you're all paying taxes. By the way, everybody should have got their notices of assessment by now. Everybody except Marissa Township has to file for a hearing before the Board of Review by the 8th of September, which is the day after Labor Day. Give me a call, 406-5767, 618 area code, if you need any help, and see if it's worth your while. Be glad to help.
Hey, Ed, I've heard from some good sources, and I don't know if you want to comment on it, but I've talked with people all throughout St. Clair County, and there is, with the election coming up, with the petitions being sent out, there is a movement to draft you to run for county office. Have you heard that? Can you give me a comment?
I get calls every day, Bob. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you running for? My county board seat is up, and it's not my county board seat. It's the taxpayers' county board seat, and I've always remembered that over the last 24 years.
But it's your ass that you're sitting on, though.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it is your seat.
It is that. Okay. It's your chair today, Bob, but it is my hind end, correct?
But have you given any thought about, because, Ed, let me tell you, I've talked with people all throughout the county. You're the only guy that wants to help everybody. You've helped people down in East St. Louis. You've helped people in Lebanon. I've talked to people in O'Fallon. They can't vote for you, but you take time out to help them get their taxes lowered if it's legal. And the people appreciate that. And would you, if there was a draft, if people came to you, would you consider running for county office?
Well, Bob, there's two issues that I think need addressed, and yes, I would consider that. But here's the deal: this airport is just breaking everything. Programs and services are suffering because of the $13 million deficit that operating loss that they run every single year.
Right.
We need a new jail. Our jail is 40 years old, and it's a lot older than that because of the taxing the infrastructure's had to put up with. We don't need an addition or anything. We need that. But even more important than all that, we need some transparency and some people that are going to tell the people like it is, the truth. You know, they may not like it, but it's the truth. And we need to start, some of these audits, some of these, financial dealings that go on behind closed doors, that's got to stop. I'm not even fully informed as a county board member, and I'm a elected taxpayers representative. So that's got to change.
You sound like this gentleman sitting next to me, Jerry Nichols from Cahokia, a trustee from Cahokia, and he can't get an answer because Sprague says he'll be out of order. Jerry says, if I'm out of order, carry me out of this damn room because I'm going to talk for the people of Cahokia just like you talk for the people of St. Clair County, but they want to silence everybody.
You fight on, Jerry. Don't let him stop you. You fight on, man.
I'm going to fight. He can't throw me out because
that's right.
That's what I told him. He said,
hey, Ed.
Hey. If you're doing, if they're calling you out of order, you must be doing something right for the people.
Ed, I'll give you the parting shot. We have to get out of here because we've got a lot of business to take care of. What would you like to tell all the good people of St. Clair County?
Well, Freedom Coalition, anybody, independents, Republicans, Democrats, do what's right and fight the good fight. Talk to people, and when people come around with their petitions for you to sign, ask them, hey, what are you going to do for me, the taxpayer? Not me personally, me, the taxpayer. And get your tax bill out and show them how much you pay in school taxes, how much you pay in, general taxes everywhere. And make people accountable. I don't care where they are. They're your representative. Right. You're not theirs. And, fight the good fight and do what's right. Jerry, I commend you for doing what you're doing down there because it's not easy.
I appreciate it. And the main thing on them petitions, read the top of your petition before you sign it.
Amen, brother.
Who you're signing. Ed Cockrell.
Bob, thank you. I'm going to leave a copy of this ordinance for you, Bob.
I appreciate you.
It's very short and sweet, but it's to the point.
Let me tell you, you and Mr. Hilligestein, you guys are true Americans. I sincerely want to salute you because that's what America's about. Let's acknowledge this great country who's given us the opportunity to do the things we can do. Mr. Ed Cockrell, proud member of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, New Athens Township Supervisor, and a member of the county board. Ed, I hope at some point, well, not at some point, in 2016, I see your name, Ed Cockrell, somewhere on that county ballot.
Thanks, Bob, for your support. I appreciate it.
You're a good man.
God bless.
Before we talk to these good people in Cahokia, and I want to apologize because I wanted to do this starting off my show. This beautiful, beautiful 9-year-old girl sitting on her bed doing her homework with her mother was shot and killed in Ferguson. I don't see any big uproar over that. But if a policeman, black or white, kills a thug, black or white, there's riot in the streets. That's what these bums, both black and white, men and women, care about, is chaos. A 9-year-old girl killed in her room doing her homework. Her mother there shot, holding this little girl in her arms. You got a picture of that, people? Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? When a 9-year-old girl gets killed for no reason. I don't see protesting. I don't see protesting against the thugs, black and white. But I see protesting against the police officers who are doing their job. Beautiful, beautiful young 9-year-old lady. Jamlia, I believe Bolden was a nice young lady, I'm sure. And it breaks me up. I don't have a dog in this fight. This is a beautiful young black lady. But I want to say, all you good people, get off your asses. We got to put a stop to this. You know why these thugs jump policemen, throw rocks at policemen? Because they know the police officers have their hands tied. They go out in the street, these thugs, shoot each other. If that's what you want to do, do it. But don't kill an innocent 9-year-old young lady. And I see a front page. I don't see any riots. I don't see people saying, hey, we've had enough of this thug violence. No, they're too busy throwing rocks at the police officers, our professional law enforcement community. They don't have time, and they're afraid. These bitches out there putting their fingers in the policeman's face. Go out there and put your fingers in one of those thugs' faces that killed this 9-year-old girl, the daughter of a lady that lost her daughter. You no-count, rotten bastard, thug son of a bitches, and you rotten bastard protesters, black and white, come after the thugs, not our police officers. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, I want to have a moment of silence for this beautiful 9-year-old lady, 9-year-old daughter that was doing her homework, people. She wasn't out in the street. Her mother wasn't a dope pusher that somebody come in and killed the family because the mother sold them some bad dope. This was a beautiful young lady with a nice family in Ferguson doing her homework on her bed. Don't see any outrage, but at this point I do. I'm going to have a moment of silence for this beautiful young lady. Jamila Bolden, please, honey, rest in peace. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot. With me, some great friends, great people from Cahokia. My good buddy, the lone wolf, Jerry Nichols, the only man that'll stand tall on that county board, the only man that's going to ask the hardball questions to Curtis McCall Jr., that little bitch. You know, you're a bigger bitch than my first wife, Curtis McCall Jr., and you're uglier. Well, I can't say you're uglier than my first wife, but you're pretty close. Jerry Nichols, what the hell is going on in Cahokia?
Well, Bob, I come up here to get on and tell you about that Francelica Jackson going to take his job so he can go back to play school for $67,000 a year. But I run into something else last night at the football field we built for the kids in our administration in 2014. The city built the field. We had Hanks Excavating come in and give us a deal on the work. Then we had Muni come in and do the irrigation, all side. Then we got a grant for the back scoreboard, the goalposts, and the rest of the city guys put that field in. We had a sign made up for our administration to put up there at the gate, Gary Cornwell and the staff.
Right.
Well, he took the sign and had it changed. Put all of his people on the sign and his name. But it shows where it was established in 2014.
And they were nowhere around in 2014.
No, that's about as low as you can get.
Yeah.
And plus, they're also the ones that stopped the $400,000 grant for the rest of that park. So that's pretty much what's going on down there today.
You know, Jerry, you brought up a beautiful little lady, Christina Walker. You probably saw her on TV a little while back where they ran her out of the Cahokia Community Basket Food Pantry. She's been there for several years, feeding all the hungry in the Cahokia area. And because she wasn't for Curtis McCall, she got penalized. And I've talked to so many people. What a great job Christina has done. And she's with me today. Christina, I know you're here to try to get some help, but the Cahokia Community Basket was shut down by the McCall team, and you're fighting to get it open for the good people so the less fortunate can have something to eat. Is that correct?
Yes. Good morning, by the way. We were closed down, and I've been actively looking for a building. We did find a few other buildings. They just didn't suit our needs. I did find a building that would work for us. They want to rent it to us, and we're just basically reaching out for support to try to find someone that can financially help us get on our feet to where we can reopen as soon as possible to continue to help these 1,200 families every month that we helped. We have the backing of the St. Louis Area Food Bank, Operation Food Search, Kiwanis, Rotary Club, Knights of Columbus. We have lots of backing, and we just need to help the poor people of St. Clair County because we service the St. Clair County community. We don't just service Cahokia.
Oh, I'm sorry. But, Christine, I talked to you, and you said off the air, Bob, it's not a political organization. You don't even want to play politics. You want to help the less fortunate, the hungry people of this area. But in my words, Curtis McCall has made this a political football that he's been kicking around. Now, he said he shut you down, and they're going to have a food pantry. That was a month or two ago. Is there a food pantry in Cahokia?
Not that's ran by the village, no. There's one church food pantry, but they were established a long time ago. The village of Cahokia has no food pantry that services people right now.
Well, that's typical of McCall's. They'll tell you one thing, and then they'll do nothing. That's the way the McCall team is. But how do they get a hold of you, Christina, if they need or want to help to feed the less fortunate? And remember, people, y'all got an extra $1 or $2 or $3 or $5. We're eating fairly good. There's a lot of people out there, black, white, men, women, especially children in this great United States of America who are not eating at all. And Christina Walker in the Cahokia Community Basket, they're trying to alleviate that problem. How do they get a hold of you, Christina?
We do have a GoFundMe account started right now. It's at a GoFundMe at CahokiaCBasket.com. We have a post office box is 1732 Cahokia, Illinois. So it's P.O. Box 1732. I have an email address, c.walker_4ccb@yahoo.com.
You know what? Hey, Mark, Sweet Cakes Kern, all you bastards up here in Belleville. Cahokia, the last I heard, was still in St. Clair County. Why don't you take some of your money, you bitches, take some of your money and keep it away from politics and give it back to the community. Mark Kern, Mark Eckert, God Sprague. God Sprague, you ought to call Bob Sprague's office. Bob Sprague is the city attorney in Cahokia. That bitch has got me. He lives in $1.5 million house out in the Orchards. He's got more money than the law allows, that greedy bastard. Hey, Bob Sprague, why don't you donate $10,000, $15,000 back to Cahokia? Money that you're taking out of Cahokia up to Belleville every week. The money that Curtis McCall Jr. is giving you to take out of Cahokia. Why don't you donate? It's amazing that the people that take advantage of a poor community like Cahokia. Christina, I talked with you off the air. You're going to fight until you get this thing open. And I want to commend you because at this point, you're not getting a lot of help from any of the political leaders, are you?
No, not at all. We are solely going to be unaffiliated with the village completely. We need donations now so that we can continue to run the food pantry through the year. We need, to pay the light bill. You got to pay a water bill. You got to pay everything. And we just want to reopen as soon as possible to help as many as we can.
Hey, Curtis McCall Jr. Hey, you bitch, you bastard bitch. You're making $60,000 working for the school district. You're making another $50,000 to be mayor of Cahokia. That's over $100,000. Why don't you get in your pocket, you lame-ass bastard, you and your daddy? You guys have sucked everything out of Centerville Township, out of Cahokia. Why don't you put a little bit back? Curtis McCall Sr., I'm challenging you, and I promise you, if you guys put in $1,000 or $2,000, I will salute you. I will salute you. I'll come down and shake your hand, and I'll lay off you for about a week. That should be an incentive. Curtis McCall Jr., Curtis McCall Sr., you've taken enough out of Cahokia. Please put some back. Christina, one more time, how can people get a hold of you if they want to try to help? Not you, but help you help the less fortunate people in St. Clair County. You
can write to our P.O. Box 1732 in Cahokia, Illinois, 62206, or you can email me at c.walker_4ccb@yahoo.com.
Christina Walker, I want to thank you. I want to salute you because there's not many people that would do what you're doing, and there's sure not a lot of people that would fight like you're fighting to try to help and feed the less fortunate. Again, I want to salute you. I'm going to give you our patriotic salute, the KQQZ patriotic salute for the day. Christina Walker, any information we could get out, please give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you along the way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Jerry Nichols, I'm going to give you the last word before we take a break. What do you have to say to the good people of Cahokia? I would say, what the hell is going on? But I'm going to give you the last word before the break.
Well, I'm still on the board. I'm still a committeeman, and I'm going to lead the charge for the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition in Cahokia. We just need everybody to come out and get involved, and we do need people to help pass out pamphlets Sunday, and just come out and vote and get involved with us. We got the radio station. All we need now is the people to come out and help us.
Jerry Nichols, the lone wolf, the Cahokia, the only decent Cahokia village trustee at this point in time. Jerry, you keep up the fight. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. We're going to talk about what I predicted. Amika, you stinka Jackson Hicks, you stupid, rotten, no-count, skankalicious bitch. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Hey, I called Amika Jackson a skankalicious bitch, and now I sincerely want to apologize. I just had the skank union call me and say, hey, we're a bunch of skanks, but we ain't as skanky as Amika, you stinka Jackson Hicks. So I want to apologize to the skank union. I'm sorry, very, very sorry. I was going to go to East St. Louis, but we had a gentleman want to talk about that beautiful 9-year-old girl that was killed yesterday. So go ahead, sir. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob. How you doing this morning?
Fine.
Curious on your thoughts about an 18-year-old man getting shot by police and all these protesters. Kind of curious where the protesters are on a 9-year-old girl doing her homework on her bed in her bedroom and getting shot. Where's Al Sharpton? Where's everybody else for this young lady?
Yeah, hey, I agree with you, Doug, but I don't give a damn about Al Sharpton. I don't give a damn about the color of their skin. Where are we all at in this? But you heard what I said earlier, Doug. Here's what I said earlier. These no good, rotten protesters, they're you know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars us taxpayers are losing? People don't think about that. These police officers, and they deserve it, they're getting time and a half, double time, triple time, and these thugs out there that are saying they're protesters, they'll put their finger in the face of a police officer because they know the police officer is not going to hurt them. Why don't these thugs, these protesters, why don't they round up all the killers, all these gang members, all these killers, and put their fingers in their face? You know why? Because they'll get their heads blown off. They're bitches. These protesters aren't protesters. They're bitches. And you're right, Doug. Let's get out there. I don't give a damn Al Sharpton. Let's get the whites. Let's get Dick Durbin. Let's get where the hell is Claire McCaskill? She's got her big, ugly face all throughout the paper. Where's the whites and the blacks? The decent people. Going to put a stop to all this killing, Doug. Do you agree with me or not? Go ahead, Doug.
I was saying it's just right or wrong. They never want to show their faces. I think a lot of them are scared. I don't get it. I don't get it one bit. And I thank you for your time, Bob.
Hey, Doug, thank you, buddy. Always appreciated. And I had the news media yesterday. They said that the police officers during this criminal outbreak over in St. Louis had the support of the politicians. I say, who the hell cares that the politicians are supporting our professional police officers? These rotten bastards are the ones that have helped screwed up this. These are the rotten bastards that have helped create this hostile environment. I don't give a damn if it's Antonio French or Amika Pashika, whatever that bitch, that state senator's name is. I don't give a damn. if they care what I'm doing. If I'm a professional police officer, I say, get out of my way and let me do my job. That's the problem. East St. Louis. Council expected to fire new city manager. Hold all the calls. Don't call and say, Bob, you're brilliant. You knew what was coming 2 days before. I know that. You don't have to call and tell me that. But now tonight at 6 o'clock, they're going to fire this lady, and they tell me she was incompetent anyway, so maybe they needed to get rid of her. But listen to me, people. Amika Jackson Hicks, this stupid bitch, this skanky, no-count, good-for-nothing bitch, is bitching now because for the last 4 years, the last administration, there was corruption, there was theft, there was mismanagement. There's a $6 million deficit. She must have been in a coma for 4 years. This Man, you can never go to sleep here. This ignorant, stupid bitch. She was the chairman. You hear me, people? The chairman of the finance committee. She's the one that had control, but she's going to try to flip the script. Hey, I'm going to go out and buy a gun, hypothetically, of course. I'm going to kill someone, hypothetically, of course. I'm going to get me a nice Colt 45, buy it, go out and kill somebody. And then when the police come, I'm going to say, hey, it ain't me. It was the guys from Colt. They made the gun. You can't flip the script, Amika, you stinker Jackson Hicks, you stupid bitch. Everybody gave time and effort to get rid of Parks, and she's bringing Parks back tonight as the new city manager. I've talked to people in Chicago and Springfield yesterday. They couldn't believe it. Hey, Dick Durbin, our United States Senator, Mr. Durbin, he supported Amika Jackson Hicks against Parks. Now, Amika's taken all his support, all my support, all everybody's support, got elected, and now she's handing the reins back over to Parks. Parks is a mayor. It's a weak form of government, the mayor form of government there. He couldn't do much as mayor. Now he's going to be the city manager who makes all the appointments. He's got at least 3. He's got the majority of the board behind him. So he's going to be more powerful, more influential than he's ever been. And this is Amika Jackson, who fought to get rid of him. Now tonight she's going to cry like she was politically raped. I don't want this. She did this. Eddie the Gerbil Jackson did this because if they didn't, Parks was going to run against Eddie Jackson in the primary for state representative, and he would have beat her. The only reason this bitch won is because Parks was thrown off the ballot. If Parks hadn't been thrown off the ballot, he'd have beat her by 1,000+ votes. Everybody knows that. But that's history. But this no-count skank, I don't get the skanks pissed off at me. This lady, and I'll use that term very, very loosely, this lady is going to make Parks the city manager tonight. Now, that's the most asinine thing, and I've been in politics 50 years, been around politics 50 years. Do you people understand the significance of this? She fights to get rid of him. She talks about the culture of corruption, the theft, the mismanagement of money, and then she brings him back as a city manager to even destroy the once great city of East St. Louis, even destroy it even more. It's unbelievable. She said here in the paper that she's committed to as your mayor, to make a change. Oh, Amika, you stinker Jackson, you made a change, you idiot. You made a change for the worse. There's no positive. She wants things to be positive. I'm very serious about making positive changes. The only positive change you can make is resign from office tonight. That would be the only thing you could do. But you wanted to protect your daddy. Parks was rearing his ugly head, him and Greenwood and Charlie Powell. And they would have won Parks if he hadn't been thrown off the ballot. It's hard to win in the write-in. But they said, hey, we're going to run Parks against Eddie Jackson in the primary for state representative. Eddie Jackson got down on his knees and begged those guys not to. And they said, well, get your daughter, make Parks the city manager, and then he won't run against you. So Eddie stayed on his knees, crawled over to his daughter, and Amika Jackson Hicks, she says, whatever you want, Daddy, because you and Claiborne, the senator, have been running this show. You know I'm an idiot, Daddy. You know I don't know what the hell I'm doing, Daddy. So I'll do whatever you, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, and the senator, Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne, I'll do whatever you say, because I don't give a damn about the city. I give a damn about collecting the money. I give a damn about my state job at $90,000 in benefits that you, Daddy, that you got for me, so I owe you, Daddy. But tonight, this disingenuous bitch is going to sit there and act like she doesn't want this done. So everybody listening, you've got the underbelly of this story. She's going to sit there and protest. She's going to sit there and say, oh, I really don't want it done, when behind the scenes the last 2 days they've cut all these deals. They've cut deals so Parks won't run against another guy for township supervisor, another guy for this. Alonzo Greenwood, those guys are smart. They're politically savvy. They know how to push the buttons, and they pushed them all. And now Greenwood, Powell, Parks, they're more powerful than they were when Parks was the mayor. And that wasn't good for the city back then, and it's sure not going to be good for the city now. Tonight at 6 o'clock, you people, if you want to be there, they're going to fire this lady, and they tell me she's incompetent. She's from California, Colorado. She's from somewhere. But she'll be fired tonight. Her last name's Chapman. And then again, Hicks, Jackson Hicks, that bitch says the city is faced with a $5.7 million deficit, and it's due to mismanagement by the prior administration. The prior administration that she had a major hand in, the prior administration that's out right at $6 million financially, that she was the chairman of the finance committee. I don't think she's got a clue. Hey, Amika, do yourself a favor. When you go to the store, don't buy a jockstrap, an athletic supporter. You probably would, because you wouldn't know what to do with it. And the other thing you don't do, Amika, is pick up that gavel and represent the good people of East St. Louis, because they found you out. They have found you out. Now, tomorrow, I guarantee you'll read in the paper that Amika Jackson Hicks, I didn't want this done. I wasn't any part of it. You've heard the backdrop of this story. You've heard me. You know what went on. So don't let her be the victim in this situation, because she's not the victim. She's the perpetrator. Her and Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, her daddy, are the perpetrators of this, and I have to say probably the most egregious political crime I've ever witnessed. Of course, Charlie Powell, Alonzo Greenwood, Alvin Sugar Britches Parks, they were part of it. They're part of the scenario, but they're going to benefit from it. You hear me? The city is not going to benefit. But Amika Jackson Hicks, 3 months in office, you've turned this city even back worse than it was when Parks was there. And you're going to sit there and you're going to cry tonight, and you're going to say, I didn't want any part of this. I don't know anything about it. And if there's been times when I've exposed things and I've stopped things from going on in the past several times, I don't even think me exposing this will stop this vote tonight for Parks, because Amika, her political career's on the line, and even more so than that, her daddy, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. Now, I guarantee you he will not have primary opposition unless I decide to run against him in the primary. He won't get opposition from the East St. Louis Democratic Club, because him and his lovely, lovely daughter, the only thing more lovely than his daughter is the dog crap I stepped in when I came to the studio today. It's the only thing more lovely than his daughter. And Eddie, like daughter, like father, you are a piece of political crap, and your daughter's no better. I don't care if she's a woman. She's up in that political arena. She does want to hear all the truth. Get out of politics. Man, woman, black, white, I don't care. If you're up in that political arena, you're going to get hit. That's just the way it is. And you notice, Amika, she won't call me now. She called me when she needed money. Bob, I need another $5,000. I need another $4,000. She'd call me when she needed money. She'd call on you good people when she needed your vote. But she's silent now, isn't she? She's silent. But tonight, she'll be screaming, I didn't want this done. She did want it done. And that's the reason it's going to get done. Listen, people, you got to wise up. These politicians, they're all inbred. Now Parks is back with Amika. They were fighting like cats and dogs. They had everybody in East St. Louis fighting against each other. Now there's enemies on both sides of politics in East St. Louis, but the big shots are together. The big shots are the one making all the money. Parks going to make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. Amika's got $50,000 as mayor, $90,000 for a state job. And you people have fought out there for Amika. You people have fought out there for Parks. You look in your icebox. You look in your wallet. You don't have any more before this election after you fought hard, after you were dedicated to the cause. You don't have any more now than you had before the election. And you won't have any more tomorrow or the next day or the next day until we all realize that this culture of corruption has to go. And we have to do it in 2016, people. When these committeemen in East St. Louis come to you, oh, give this guy a vote. They don't care about the guy they're getting a vote for. They're caring that they're going to keep their jobs, their big, cushy, paying jobs for them and their families. They're not going to offer you a job. Don't give them your vote until they give you a job. That ought to be your motto. Give me a job and I'll give you my vote. Don't give me $2 or $3, because when they give you $2, $3, $5, $10, that's an insult to you, people. They think you're stupid. And if you take it, you are stupid. Your votes are powerful down there in East St. Louis. Your votes are valuable down there in East St. Louis. And I don't say sell your vote, but it's going to happen. And if it does, don't make it worth their while. Make it worth your while. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be fighting the fight. People understand we can make a difference. The Cahokia people that have joined the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Jerry Nichols and his group, they're going to make a difference. You good people in East St. Louis are going to make a difference, and everybody throughout St. Clair County can make a difference in 2016. So let's all unite. I'm tired of saying it, people. Let's all unite, because that's the only way we're going to stop this culture of corruption. After 30, 40, 50 years, don't think it's going to stop on its own. So let's all, as always, come together. Don't have to be the best of friends. Don't have to agree on everything in life. The only thing we need to agree on is that these bastards, this culture of corruption in St. Clair County, the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, we agree that they're the devils, they're evil, and they have to go in 2016. And together, we will continue to expose, to drag, in November of 2016, put a stake in the heart of these vampires. A political stake, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.